What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the big city, where we are starting an incredibly important project. Probably the most important project that we've ever done in this world, or probably anything at all. The first palace, or castle, or anything you want to call along those lines that I am ever building begins today. The very foundation will be laid. A very cool one, hopefully, at this stage. And today is the day it all begins. By the way, this little place we started last episode, it's looking great. There's a few little things I have to add in, but I've played around with it. I think it's looking way better inside. Yeah, you can see what I mean. It's definitely doing good. But that's not important. What is important is today we are getting started on the stairs, the entrance to our palace, which is going to be towering above the city, ridiculously high. It's going to be hopefully stupidly large. That's the idea of it. So I'll give you some context to where we are right now in terms of the building of this. I've got some roads. Obviously, there's some unfinished areas. That's, I think, just a wall. I don't even know what the plan with that is, but we'll get to that eventually. Going up this way, we've got ourselves a little bit of a garden here, which is important because that means we've got space to put some more houses along this line and build our entrance over here. And I'll show you now. You might very well start seeing where we're getting with this. And to be completely honest, I hope this works, what we are about to get going on. But we've got a bit of a crazy idea. All right, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so what my crazy idea is an idea that I'm not even 100% certain will work. In fact, I think we should maybe, that feels a bit wide. Yeah, so this is an idea that I'm not even 100% certain will shape well, but we'll try it out nonetheless. So my thought is, going up to a palace, you normally want it to be very grand. You want it to seem like it's this long walk, and you also need it to feel powerful and grand and tall, higher than the rest. And that's what we're going for right here. So the idea is that if we could make this over here, these stairs, feel like they're a little bit longer than they actually are, but they're actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eight different steps up from the bottom here. If we can make this feel like it goes for ages, that'll be the best possible thing that we can do here. So what I'm trying to do, hopefully you can maybe see what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to like force you to look at it as if it's a very long run. So you can see here, look at that. Going in like that, it's going to look like it's a vector from there that's coming out this way. Well, everything's pointing towards this vector. Let's put it that way, right? So that is what I'm trying to do here. And this is just the boring part about it. Let me tell you this. This is like the part that may very well work, but it's probably going to be quite a tough thing to do. Yeah, that'll work. There, we'll just do that. And I feel like anything more narrow than this will be a bit too narrow, but we have to see what it looks like on the other side here. So what is that? 1, 2 out? Yeah, I think I need to go 1 more out. I just feel way better if that was 1 more out here. Like that. So if we go 1, 2, 3, we'll see the width of this here. And then we also have to go out this way, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. 5, I think I did that one. Okay. So how does this look? Yeah, okay, this shape is pretty close. I think we'll have to do a few little changes to it, but this is pretty close to the starter shape that we are wanting. The whole thought about it is that we're going to be going up this way, and we're going to make this entrance a grand one with a few different things that I'm not very confident with. Of course, building some very, kind of dull, repetitive stuff, which, as you can tell, I tend to try and change things up block by block. There's some rule in my head that I just can't get out of that. Every block, I feel like I need to put another block on, and sometimes that's not the best case scenario. And I think today's going to be that. So we're going to try, and why of course is also important, but we're going to try and do something a bit more repetitive here, and that's going to be starting with a wall like this, so that it covers you in as you walk up here. So as you're going up here, there's going to be a wall over here. We could probably go up a bit more. That's fine. Wherever that is, we'll fix that up. Like this. There. And there. And as we go up, this wall will offer us a few different cool things. First of all, it'll look cool. And that's always a good thing. That's something I've always would like in a build. You know what I mean? That's kind of what we're going for. But the other thing is, the wall is going to separate this style that we're going here to the palace's style. Because I honestly could probably do a lot of stuff from here in the palace, and I'm sure we'll take a lot of general stuff, But really, I think the best part about this will be starting a brand new style for the palace of its own, because it is. It's meant to be the royals' place. You know, it's meant to be significantly more well built and look a lot nicer. So that's hopefully what we're going to get from changing styles. And of course, having a bland in between area like this will probably help us out one heck of a lot. In fact, now let's just check this wall out. Yeah, okay, we'll have to maybe edge this off a little bit better and make it a bit more interesting than what it is. And I've got some ideas of what I might do for making this interesting, but there's so much I didn't realize how much there is to consider about this thing before I started. I was thinking before I started planning this out in my head, at least, what do palaces have? And I started writing a list of things that I want to just add on just the outside of the palace, let alone the inside of the palace. Obviously, this entrance, I want to make I mean, obviously there'll be gardens and stuff. I want to make a fountain. I want to make so many cool things, a gazebo. Man, there's so many, honestly, there's just so many ideas. If you guys have any ideas, by the way, for this place you want to see in here, of course, just leave them below, because by the time this video comes out, I guarantee you, we are not finished this palace. That is not going to be the case. It's going to take a while, but it's going to be a good time. I'll guarantee you that. Let's just change this over here. We'll change all this up because I want to get some red brick in here, just because it's part of the city, and up till here, this seems like the place where red brick should be. And what we'll actually do, let's just do something like this, so that we don't necessarily have to have it everywhere. And we can just make it like this, make it kind of work, and then from here this will stop, because I feel like it's very overpowering. And for my ideas, I don't think red will quite work. Oh, can I get out here, please? Perfect. So, like that. No. I've placed so many double blocks today. I don't know what it is. It's just one of those days where I'm like that. What? Oh, wait. What? There we go. Okay, cool. So something like this would work, and we'll just get rid of these up to the stairs there. I'll probably just texture these as well a little bit, and then we'll be good on that. So that over there should be the base of the stairs done. This is more or less what I had planned. I might actually push this up another block or so. It just feels a little bit low for me, but hey, it could be all right. And now the thing with the wall that I want to fix up is it's looking kind of boring, and yeah, I mean, this is mainly a placeholder. So what I think might work is to do something along these lines here and just smooth it out a bit. So where I've gone there, just smoothing it out just a little bit from where it is. And that will probably allow us to start doing some interesting stuff. So what I'll want to do now is I'll go ahead, I'll plan some interesting things to put in here. I might try some different types of logs, just different blocks in general. There we go. All right, so of course I've got to do a bit more here, but this is starting to really turn out way different than I expected it, but very cool, I think. And I'll explain to you what's going on here. Most importantly, we've got something that is basic, that can be used in both what's going to be coming and what exists currently. And I think we're going to be able to merge it in with this empty space here very well. And let's go up close. Now, this is the one part that I'm not too happy with up close here, but you know what? I think it'll work. So the idea of this coming together over there, it really looks cool, this shape that has a bit of a curve in it. But it also makes it look a lot further than just, 16 blocks up that way, which is fantastic. I mean, if you have to take anything, I mean, it might not necessarily look as good as I hope yet, but it definitely has a cool little twist to it, and I like that a lot. So going up here, this is where we're going to be working now. There are a few spots here, this spot here, and the equivalent on this side here. And I want to put something here that isn't a building. I want it to be a more natural area. Picture coming up to the palace, you've got the gardens. They're well kept, they're well maintained. You can see, look out over here, because remember, this place is doing pretty well for itself in comparison to the other parts of the world, of course. Ooh, I realized I didn't bring in enough of that. Okay, we'll just use these. That's fine. This'll do. It's good for us to actually. In fact, I just realized I was actually going to test out some path blocks on here. So what I'm thinking is to make this part, because of course we can't just have a big open grass area, although that's an interesting thought as well, weirdly enough, but I don't want a big open grass area. What I'm thinking of doing is something along these lines where we have some paths going out this way, obviously very straight, which is weird for me, but I think having some straight paths is actually a good idea. In fact, I think having some straight paths is a good idea, but let's put a twist to this, all right? We'll go do that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. Let's make a little bit of a change here, and we'll also put in these to just break this over and change it over to the proper grass. So we go 1, 2, 3, there, and there. We'll change this all over. Should be pretty simple. So this, I think, would make a neat little curve to it, because we're going to be building this with the same sorts of ideas as what we built this city, where we've got a lot of things on diagonals. I want to try and make this palace look real good. I don't want it to look like a grid, which is what we tend to build in quite a bit. So if we can get this to be diagonal, starting with these sorts of basic little things that really don't mean too much to be diagonal, I think that will work wonders. Okay, I guess I'll change those there out to some of these. Yeah, like that. That gives it a bit more of a curve to it. That's all right. So these are some things that I've been considering, is of course putting in a bit more stuff over here. And what I was thinking, on each side, I don't want it to be exactly the same on each side. So perhaps a bird bath on one side. Actually, that is so horrible. I wish there was a way to turn off the path making abilities of these, because it really becomes difficult to use the offhand with the shovel at times. When you're replacing blocks, at least, it's absolutely horrible. Maybe like Silk Touch stops it or something. That would be pretty useful. I don't know. I just think it would be pretty cool. So the problems I have. But yeah, something like this could be cool. And we could go ahead, and I'm actually going to test this out on a larger scale. In fact, I can show you what I'm talking about on the other one, which could lead to be something pretty neat. So what I was looking into was doing something perhaps like this, where we go and do a line of things like this. Yeah, we'll use the smaller flowers. These here, like this. So we do a line of flowers, which sadly don't go in a good order like this, but they go well enough once you get them together. So we do that. We'll separate them over with another one. And I'm definitely going to work something like this in somewhere in this palace, for sure, because it creates such an awesome bunch of color, and that's really what I want to add into the city, is a bit more color, which creates a bit more life. So there we go. You can see these are actually on different blocks. In fact, that's on the wrong block there. But these over here are diagonal from each other, but they've just got such wide differences and close things like that. So something along these lines here. Maybe we could actually try these. I was thinking of just 2 of these, but maybe putting in some of these at the back could give us some inspiration for the rest of it. So how does that look? Those make it a bit much. What are these, rose bushes? Yeah, they like a little bit too much. So we'll cool it down on those. But these actually could look good from the top. So if we're looking down at something, for instance, when we have the palace, we have the quarters, the like royal sleeping quarters. We could have them look over onto some gardens that are large like this, which would work quite well because we're not going to actually be down on the level of them. So we'll do a few more of these, just see how it looks. There we go. And what are these? These are the azure bluettes. They're actually pretty cool because they just offer a bit of ground cover like that without getting too crazy. And in fact, these look like they're always, okay, they're more or less in a line here. Okay, now my theory starts to fall apart. Never mind. So we'll just do a little bit more and see how this feels. So if we can get these sorts of things to work like that, yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I'm actually kind of impressed with the way this is. So how about we just carry on with this idea, make a path going along here, which is going to be a perfect 45, which is fine. And we'll do the same thing over here, like on this side. Oh, dang it. Maybe something like that. Okay, yeah, I actually had the right stuff. That's fine. So if we do that there, that'll fix itself up over time when the grass comes over. So something like this could look pretty neat. And in fact, I might even just do some of the stone, the stone slabs to edge this off a little bit nicer than what it is. Yeah, something like that is very, very cool. So we'll do the same thing on this side, like this. So these are the sorts of things. I don't want it to be a very important place because really no one's going to be here. It's going to be just for looking if people are looking. So it shouldn't be something that's got a big tower. The big towers are still to come. I've got some big plans for those towers. So they still to come, and they're going to be hopefully amazing by the time we get to them. But of course, we don't know what's going to look like until we get there. So here we go. A few more of them. The sounds of these flowers are going to drive me crazy. I think I've got my headphones way too loud because these flowers are going nuts. And we fell one short, but that's right. I don't know how I feel about them in this area. I'll get rid of that. I don't know what I think about this because there's a part of me that does like the idea, but the overall look of it, it's a little bit much. Let's just go down here. So we walk from the bottom. We look at this. We're going to see this massive palace, towers on each side. Walking up this way, a bit of color starts to edge through there. Ignore this side. And we look over to the side here. I think this actually could work. Maybe with a little bit of something in the middle here. For instance, let's just find the center that is centered. I actually did do this one as a like somewhat of a circle with some plan to it. Because I thought, you know, if we keep a little bit of order to this place, it'll just add to that feel of it actually being a palace. So maybe something like this. We'll make a little bit of a bird bath sort of thing, or a fountain, more or less. So if we do that there, oh, that's yeah, that's a pity. In fact, we've got these. Yeah, we'll go down for them. But if we could do a fountain over here, that could break it up a bit, and we'll just move the path around. That could be something. From this height, you just can't say no. Look at that. Compared to that, I think we're going to have a hard time getting off of these flowers right now. By the way, I hope this over here sets us up very well for the rest of it, because I've got some good feelings about what this palace is going to end up looking like. So hopefully today is a good start. I'm not too sure how we're doing, but we'll soon find out. There's a darn zombie under there. I knew I should have lit that area up a little bit. So here's what I'm thinking. We've got this bird bath that I want to do, or a fountain. Let's just get rid of this guy. Yeah, that was good. That was a good hit. And we'll go up this way. So what I want to do is I want to actually push this into the ground. Because when I was looking at it from that distance, the thing that I noticed was if we pushed it up here, where I wanted it to be, we would need to have the blocks out on this level at first. Well, I mean, the water could still be there, but the blocks would be out on this level, which would just look very tall. So what we could do to make it a little bit more interesting, and I think add in the ability for us to add a bit of detail to it, is to drop this one down so we actually have the water below our feet like this. And we'll have to go ahead and grab a bit of another water bucket. I just realized I've only got one, but that's fine. So that would mean that we have some space over here to make an interesting looking pond or a little bird bath. But it's a square. Now there's your problem. So perhaps I'll get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Okay, well, do things a little quicker. Yeah, something like this could work. In fact, if I get rid of... It's just getting larger and larger. It's actually becoming a full-blown pond right now. But you know what? That's fine. We'll just let this go and see how it goes. And whatever happens, happens. You know, that's the beauty of this thing, is we don't really have to stick to any rules or anything that we've predetermined here. Yeah, I'll let those despawn. If they despawn, that's fine. It's not a big deal. Yeah, okay. This is an interesting dilemma. So if we do something like this, like there, we could fill that up with water. We could maybe push this up over here so the water runs down like this. We'll get rid of that. In fact, I want the water to be one lower. That seems a little bit too tall. Yeah, like that would be good. We'll just get rid of that block, get rid of that block. And now we can maybe work on getting this to look a little bit neater in the area. In fact, before we commit to that, let's just step out a bit as well. That's always important. This is a good vantage point. Yeah, okay. I'm actually down for that. I'm down for that. I understand that what we're doing here today probably will be a little bit controversial. I know there's some people who will not like what we're doing, but I know in the long term I can see this coming out. So you guys got to trust me on this. You guys said the same about the fields. Jansey, you put in too much wheat, and that turned out pretty good. So I think we'll get there in the end. No matter what, we'll work it out. Just gotta trust me a little bit on this. So something like this. Maybe get rid of that there. Yeah, I think just one more. Like that. I can maybe do a bit of flower rearranging, perhaps. But that looks pretty cool. I like that actually quite a lot. We'll go ahead and do these over here as well. And actually, I'm going to put these in my fan so I can pick these up. Because I've just realized at my flower farm, I don't get many of these. So if I do forget them, that's going to be quite an expensive, well, AFK session at my flower farm for them. So I'd rather just pick them up now. There we go. Yeah. Okay, well, we did not want to fall down there. We'll just use this as an opportunity to grab whatever we don't have. But I think that's actually looking pretty good. We'll go up one more time. Okay, that's perfect. We can see the flowers from there. That's good. That's a good sign. I'm also probably going to put some lighting in here at some stage. Something like that. We'll do the same thing on the other side over here. And that should be this area, I think, complete for now. You know, we haven't established the style in this area just yet. So chances are I'm probably gonna see something I like in another place and think, hey, that would look good here. We can go play around with that idea. But for now, this is a good platform for us to work with. So what's that there? We'll keep going, keep going, keep going. And this over here like that. All right, so I think, yeah, that's not quite lined up there, but I think that's gonna be good for us for today. There. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and repeat this on this side. I think I will, to some extent with the flowers, but we'll do something else different here. Maybe like a seating area or something. In fact, that couldn't be too hard. I'll just put like a pillar up from here, for instance, like this. And we could just put some, oh, we got these here. These around this way. Something like this would work very well. Just as a little bit of a seating area. We can do a bit more to it, of course, but I think that will work for us. But for today, I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and call it an episode. I've kind of got mixed feelings about this place, but I think it's going to be working well. You got to picture, the big, quite literally massive monstrosity of a picture that we're going to be having here in not too long, I hope. So for today, I will call that an episode. Thank you very, very much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one.